Hey guys, this is Jamal with GospelMusicians.com, and we're coming at you. The tagline to Gospel Musicians is making musicians into ministers. And this is a long overdue video. I wanted to do a video specifically for the young musicians and some of the stuff that I've been seeing in the last few years. And, I've been fortunate enough to grow up in, with a two-family home. I had a pretty strong dad. He wasn't super strict, but he demanded excellence. And I know a lot of young musicians right now, they don't really have a father figure or a mentor to really look up to and to get guidance from. So a lot of what I'm going to say on this video is probably they just don't know because they've never been taught. All right. So this is kind of just a video just to giving musicians some pointers. It's going to sound a little harsh in some spots, but this is all out of love because I want you to be better. OK, so all right, let's get this going. All right. This is some of the things that I've been seeing with musicians. Number one, be on time. What does be on time mean? Be on time doesn't mean if service starts at 11 that you're pulling up at 11. Like I know a lot of musicians think that. And so if the service has to wait for them, or if it's a few, it boggles my mind that 11:02 seems fine for some people. And I've noticed that with young musicians, and they'll look at you in your face and they'll be like, oh man, I was on time. I pulled up at 11. Yeah, but that's not on time because church starts at 11. 11 o'clock is actually when you start singing. So if you're not on the keys at 11, you're late. And as a matter of fact, if you're really a minister and you're ministry minded, you should actually be at church at least an hour before to get your prayer in, to get your mind right, to do sound check, because there's always going to be something unforeseen that you got to take care of. If you have a project that's due, send the project on time. If you got some tracks that are due, send the tracks that are due. And if it is going to be late, then tell the person, I'm sorry, it's going to be late. The funny thing about what happens is if something is due on Monday and the track is not there or something's not there, here comes the musician writing on Tuesday, hey, I finished your tracks. Like they don't even come and apologize. They just be like, oh, the tracks are finished. Like, do you realize that the deadline was Monday? Yeah, but the tracks are finished though. Like what I'm noticing in this new era, this new age, that it's not, common sense is not common. Like this doesn't click with everybody. Like some people think that even though it's due on Monday, I gave it to you Tuesday, so I wasn't that late, so it's fine. Like they don't even follow up the lateness with an apology. Like you don't even it's not even a rational thought that you really messed up. So I just got to tell you, number two, stop dressing ghetto in church. Stop sagging your pants and showing your underwear. Especially when, okay, like for example, if I say, hey, we need a drummer. We're looking for a drummer. We're looking for a bass player. Why don't you show up to one of our rehearsals? Love to meet you. If I say show up to rehearsal, I'm really saying this is a job interview. Yes, it's church. Yes, we're Christians, but it's business at the same time as well. So it is a job interview. If you are trying to get paid in order to play and a pastor says show up at a certain time, that is a job interview. You wouldn't go to Apple. You wouldn't go to IBM. You wouldn't go to Google dressed the way you go. But then when it comes to church, you feel like you can dress any old kind of way. And so I believe that God will take you as serious as you are. And I've always been the kind of guy, and I'm not tooting my horn, but I'm not perfect. But I took everything serious. You know why I took everything serious? Because I was that dude that got laughed off the keyboards. I was the dude that got picked up last. I remember vividly, she was singing Till We Meet. No, was it Till Me? May God Be With You. I was at an old church. May God be with you. All of the older musicians was there, and I didn't know what key she was in. One of the older musicians in the back had perfect pitch. He told me the key and I got laughed at. I got laughed off the keys. I was that guy You know that guy when you play, this is your church, this is your choir, and you on the keys. But if some better musician is there, the pastor kick you off and let them play. I was that dude. You know how that feels, huh? I know some of y'all been there. I was that dude. So when I finally got to a point when I was proficient and I could do some stuff on the keys, I took it serious because I remember those days that I couldn't play. I remember that time when I prayed and I said, Lord, if you give me the gift to play, I will always play for you. So I had that struggle. Sometimes struggle creates a better appreciation. Remember Jesus told his disciples, he told Peter, he said, Peter, this person owed this much, this person owed this much. Which one you think loved the master more? Well, I guess the one who had the most debt. And he said, you spoke right. He said, to whom much is forgiven, much loveth more. So sometimes you don't have the element of struggle because you came like the chords we learning now. Like you come out the womb playing tritones. The level of musicianship is way better for you guys now. But at the same time, your musicianship has surpassed your ethics. Your musicianship is here and your work ethic is here. So what happens is a pastor will hire you for your musicianship when your work ethic has not caught up to your skill level. I'm trying to say, let your integrity catch up with your skill level. All right. Number 3, stop trying to get rich off a simple job. Had a guy, and mind you, I'm a musician. I can make tracks. I do tracks. I heard a guy's track. I said, hey man, I want to buy your track. He's like, okay, cool. You can buy the track. He said, it'll be this much. I said, okay. So I sent it to my wife. She said, I like the track. She said, but just one thing. Can you change the key? Okay, I'm gonna change the key. Hey, we need to change the key. Oh, I charge for changing the key. We need the tracks bounced. I charge for changing the key. I charge for bouncing the tracks. I charge for normalizing. And next thing you know, it was like, all right, man, I'm good. I think we're going to go a different way. I did the track and we did our own stuff. Now, the thing is, I didn't really need him to do the track. I got some nice guys that'll do some tracks for me. I was trying to put money in his pocket because I knew he was struggling. But sometimes these young musicians at this time, oh man, I need the money. I got rent due. So I'm trying to make a meal. I'm trying to make my bread off of one dude. Like every opportunity you get, you trying to make all your money off that one guy when you got to build up to that. There's guys that have platinum records, that have Grammys, that have gold records. I called them up, and this happened to me on my Neo Sold Out. Hey, I need a track on blah, blah, blah. Hey, Jamal, these are guys that don't even know me, but they know my work from gospel musicians. Hey, whatever you need. Really? Yeah, man, I seen your work. I like what you do. Whatever you need. Hey, I know we haven't talked in a while. I was wondering what, my boy's back in Cleveland. Hey, whatever you need. The guys that are the guys that are up there, they are saying, Jamal, whatever you need. It's these little young musicians that's like trying to charge like they got Grammys. Like you got to build your way up. So the Bible says here a little, there a little, line upon line, precept upon precept. You will get there, but you're not there yet. All right. Number 4, stay for the preaching. Like we had a service, and I called in one of the young cats. And when I say young cats, I'm talking about you little 20-something whippersnappers out there. And we had a worship service. We had a conference. And so after the praise and worship, we sat down, and I try to stay during worship. And even though I'm churched out, I try and stay during worship because I want to set an example. Because the people say, well, if the musician is not taking it serious. See, the thing is, you're 23, 24, you're 26. That's not what the congregation see. They see you as a mature minister. And whether you like it or not, what you do goes. If you can sit down and laugh at somebody in the congregation, they're going to laugh at somebody in the congregation. If you show up late, they're going to show up late. I had a young musician. He was just sitting in it wasn't a green room. I'm going to call it a green room for sake of terms because I know y'all know what a green room is, which is weird. But he was in the green room just chilling. And I'm like, man, like there's no desire to worship. Check this out. You can tell a real minstrel from a musician. When you sit them down and they're not playing for the service, what are they doing? Look out to the musicians in the congregation and look at them and see what they're doing. If they're not lifting their hands, singing along, saying, I love you, Lord, worshiping along with the service, then they're churched out. And to be honest, what happens when you grow up in church for such a long time, you begin to, as David says, restore unto me the joy of my salvation. You lose the joy of your salvation. You got saved at 5. You got saved at 6. You grew up in church. So what happens is church becomes normal. The presence of the Lord becomes mundane. People are falling out. The presence is moving. I know he's moving. And you're sitting there just oblivious to the presence because you're churched out. But somehow you got to find a way to, as David said, bring back to me the joy of my salvation, meaning that your home prayer time has to be tremendous. So I can always tell a musician that really is not a worshiper, because if they don't have the keys, if they're not in front of the keys, if they're not in front of their instrument, they're taking no part in the worship service. All right. What is that? Number 4 and number 5. Try and stay off the iPhone during service. I've seen young cats be on the whole iPhone, texting and playing games during the whole entire service until it's time for them to get on the organ and back up the preacher. You're bored of church. It's okay to get bored of the building. Do not get bored of God. I was talking to my wife, and it was a couple times we talk about that because we're church people, and we have to create a way within ourselves to stir ourselves up in the Lord that we don't get bored of church, bored of the same slogans, heard every single message, can quote everything that the pastor says. You know what I mean? So you can't get bored of church. And even if you're bored, just give the congregation, even if you don't want to give God that respect, at least give the congregation that much respect to try and stay off the phone during the whole service. All right. Where we at? Stop overbooking and canceling for higher price gigs. Let your yay be yay, let your nay be nay. It was a situation, real situation. It was a young cat, and I needed a drummer. I called him up. Okay, came to rehearsal, got a drummer. This is the amount we're going to pay. Cool, I got a drummer. We're set. All right. Friday rolls around. Hey, we good? We're good for Sunday? We're good. All right, we're good. Saturday, no text message because we're good. He said we was good for Friday, right? Sunday rolls around. I didn't think to text him because I'm not going to bother to do. He said we was good on Friday, so I'm expecting him to show up. All right. Sunday rolls around. We're doing praise and worship. We're practicing, rehearsing before churches started. Okay. And no show. Okay. But I'm going to trust him. I'm going to trust him. Hour before service, no show. 30 minutes before service. Hello? Hey, man, what's up? Hey, Jamal, how you doing? How's it going? Where you at? Oh, I'm in Miami. You in Miami? We in Orlando. What you doing in Miami? Oh, man, my uncle passed away, and I had to play for the service. Okay, that could be true. That could be true. All right. When did your uncle die? I'm sorry to hear that. When did your uncle pass away? He passed away Saturday night. Okay. Oh, no, Saturday during the day. So I'm thinking if your uncle passed away Saturday during the day, I should have got a text message Saturday during the day. So what he tells me is that, oh, but don't worry, I already got a drummer for your backup. And so, okay, this new drummer, I don't know him. He wasn't a referral. He didn't come to rehearsal. I would have liked the opportunity to have a choice to choose the drummer that was going to be your replacement, not for you, the first time me ever meeting you, providing a replacement for us. So he begins to say, I don't understand, Jamal, why you're so upset. I don't understand why you're mad. I told you that I had a backup for you. So later I come find out it wasn't a backup, it was a higher price gig. Another young cat. Hey man, we looking for a drummer. Oh man, I'm your dude, man. I've been wanting to play. Here's my resume, blah blah blah. Okay, cool, man. All right. Hey, come to rehearsal, such and such. Don't come to rehearsal. Disappeared. This is very synonymous of young musicians. They disappear. They have these mysterious, the phone just stopped working. They just disappear. And so I talked to the guy that he was playing with. I said, hey, did you talk to so-and-so? Yeah. He's touring with us. What you mean he's touring with you? He just said he was going to come and play for us. Nah, man, he's touring. He's on tour with us. He's out of the country. Okay, so he didn't even have the integrity enough, you know what I wanted to say, to call me up man to man. And that leads me to the next one. Stop being afraid to stand up and say something. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Like, I noticed that a lot of these cats, I had another situation, another young guys call me up. They were supposed to be at a youth service. Hey, where you guys at? It's Sunday. Where you guys at? Oh, we forgot to tell you we're out of town. Why didn't you tell me before church service? This is more than one young cat. These dudes just disappear. They say they're going to be at a gig. They disappear. They don't call. They don't report. They don't report what's happening. They don't keep you posted. They're late with their stuff. And then they got the nerve to be mad at you. Why are you mad at me? I told you, but you told me the last minute. No integrity. And I think it has to do with not having a mentor. You just don't know. The minute you know you're not going to make the gig is the minute you text me. No organizational skills. All right? That goes to number 7. Quit being afraid to say no. I would rather you tell me the truth, hurt my feelings, tell me the truth, than to lie and just disappear. These guys just disappear. I don't know if it's an artist thing, because artists always tend to disappear, but you gotta stop doing that. You won't get gigs. Number 8, all you have is your rep. Those same guys, I'm gonna tell you. So this is what happened. All those 3 different guys in this different scenario. So somebody comes to me. She's a very popular praise and worship leader on the radio, on TBN. I could tell you her name, but I'm not going to say nothing. Hey, this is what happens. Hey, Jamal. Hey, I'm thinking about bringing on so-and-so, one of the guys, or so-and-so, one of the guys, or so-and-so, one of the guys to lead praise and worship. What do you think? I'm going to tell you what I think. You know why? Because in this industry, your word is all you have. A great name is rather to be chosen than silver and gold. So guess what I told him? This person shucks out. They're not reliable. If you call this person, they're likely to disappear and not show up. This person always changes his phone every time and they never report back. This person is late all the time. So guess what? Now I've told this top gospel artist this, and this top gospel artist is going to tell the other people, and you don't even know why you missed out on gigs. They probably don't even know why. They probably missed out on a lot of money because people talk and people call. The top musicians call the top musicians, and we're gospelmusicians.com, and they call me. I get calls from Grammy award-winning artists asking me about musicians all the time here in Orlando. And if I can't give you a thumbs up, you're done. You don't even know you're done. You just don't get gigs, and you don't know why. All right? Number 9. Quit asking what's the budget. Every time I talk to a musician, what's the budget? What's the budget? Dude, man, this is just a worship service for kids that just allow themselves to get through college, man. What's the budget? What's the budget? And this what's the budget is getting on my nerves, man. I understand you need to eat. But the reason why I believe that I'm successful in gospel musicians is all the times that I didn't ask what's the budget. All the times I played for the youth choir with 5 members. All of the times somebody asked me to do some tracks. Hey, I just need some worship music. I'm trying to make it. I do that for free. And I do this for free. All of the times the people say, man, I need help on this. And I do this for free. And I do that for free. You got to have a resume of free stuff in order for God to bless you. You're blessed not because of what you charged. You're blessed because of the stuff you didn't charge. God blesses you for what you didn't charge. God blesses for you. But do you understand that gospel musicians is the way we are? Because what I sold back in the day, when I said, well, there was a time I was at a church and I was next to another musician who wasn't getting paid because his skills wasn't up to par. And I asked the pastor, can I allow my check to go to that person because they deserve to get paid a little bit? I look for reasons to sow because I know in my sowing, that's where I'm blessed. I realize that the times that you played for somebody for free, like now, cash is just like, where's the budget? That's why you broke, man. Because you won't sow. You won't do anything for free. And you scraping and scratching and wondering why your big break didn't come. Because you didn't sow into somebody else's big break. Because you couldn't play for that youth choir that didn't nobody else want to play for because you charged too much. Because it's a church just starting out and you couldn't just play. Like I would tell my people, look, your church just starting out, my wife and come, we'll sow. We'll get your praise and worship together. We'll do a couple services. I'm not going to do it forever, but we're going to do a couple services. We're going to teach y'all how to build a worship team. We're going to build a worship team and we're going to release people. We're going to build up people and we're going to release them. We'll do this for free because the free stuff is where I get paid, because God don't reward you for the stuff you charge. He rewards you for the stuff that you sow. Stop asking what the budget is. Learn to give. And do some stuff for free. All right, I'm off of that. Deliver when you say you're going to deliver. I already talked about that. Treat every service like it's your best. If you're playing Wednesday night service is not your time to slack off. Wednesday night service is just as important as Sunday. The youth choir rehearsal is just as important as Tuesday. The men's chorus is just as important as a guest speaker. This is what I don't like. Don't treat a guest speaker because they have a great name better than you treat your own people. Don't play like a crazy maniac and give your best for somebody who's coming in just because they happen to be on the Word Network and not do the same thing for the people that's praying. Every service, every time you play, 5 or 500 is just as important. Because guess what? The Lord is sitting up there writing notes. Yeah, remember that time you slacked off because it was only 5 people? And I always keep that in my head. Even when I'm disappointed, like it's only 5 people here. I say, wait a minute, but Jesus is here. So that's 1 million people. Like I always try and get myself geared up. I pump myself up like I'm playing basketball. Like, yo, let's get this going. This is God's service. All right. Last one. This is for pastors. Stop rewarding stupidity. These young bucks can do what they do because you let them do what they do. And the reason why you let them do what they do is because you say that the quickest way for a church to grow is the music department. I got an email about a year ago. Hey, Jamal, I'm in Orlando. I'm starting a new church. I need a praise and worship team. Can you find me some anointed, saved, sold out musicians? So after that, I said, okay. And then after that, it said subtitle. This is the quickest way to grow a church. So I'm thinking like, man, I'm thinking like Jesus. Okay, look at his ministry. I don't remember Jesus having a praise and worship team. I don't remember him having a choir. I just remember him having 12 dudes and him doing what the Father does, him saying what the Father said, and he drawing thousands because of the miracles and because of the anointing. Stop getting this in your head that the only way for you to grow a church. Now, you can grow a church. I've read the non-denominational church growing document, and the way to grow the church is to get you some good praise and worship, get you one of the top praise and worship leaders who's on TV, get you some billboards, and you're set. And once you keep building that name and keep advertising, you will build a church. But will you build disciples? You'll build a nice church, you have a nice organization, you get to pay for your nice car and your helicopter, but you won't build disciples. So what happens is you're enabling these young guys to not have integrity. You're enabling them because you let them do whatever they want to do, because you're so hard pressed for numbers, you're so hard pressed for people, you're so hard pressed for your church to go, that you allow your supposedly minister of music to just do whatever he does. So there's no accountability. So that's why these young cats can run around and do whatever they want to do and live any old kind of way and show up late and do what they want to do, because you're so hard pressed that you don't want to discipline. But I say to you, you don't love him. You don't, because the Bible says, whom the Lord loves, he chastens. Chastens, discipline is synonymous with love. Where there's no love, where there's no discipline, there's no love. So basically, you're just in this thing to just build and build and build. Let's get going. Let's get more members. Let's get this. I gotta pay. I gotta pay. I gotta pay. And so what happens is you have a bunch of young musicians who never learned to worship. When I was coming up and I went to my first church, we had rules. I'm not paying you. We don't pay musicians. You're here to worship. And I had rules, and we'll talk about the pay scale and stuff like that before, but I had to learn my place. I had to learn discipline. And although I don't agree with all of those old school methods of domineering and you're nothing and I'm everything, there were some aspects. It taught me discipline. It taught me to take worship serious. It taught me to come on time. It taught me to be professional. It taught me to look the part, to play the part, and to be a minister. So, pastors, quit enabling these musicians. Set out 3 or 4 times a year where they're sitting down and getting fed, where they're sitting down and sitting underneath the word and not serving. Because sometimes you can serve your way all the way to hell. Because Paul said, I have to discipline my body lest I preach to many and I myself am lost. You can preach your way all the way to hell. You can go to hell going to church every single Sunday because you've never created a relationship with God. You was just on the keys. It was a gig to you. So I'm just throwing this out there. This is all love, fellas. Hope you don't take it personal, but I have to say it. It's been long overdue, and I want our young musicians to come up because your skill levels are ridiculous. Allow your integrity to match where your key skill is. All right? Love you. Yep, Gospel Musicians, we're out.